What is going on, Cowboys Nation? We are back for another film session, and this one's on Hunter Luepke. And he's one of those players that I really like within this offense, but I want to see them be able to utilize him more. It is very important when it comes down to this offense and being a player that's extremely versatile. Coming out of college, you played that fullback position, you played halfback, you played that wingback position. He was one of the guys that really made a difference coming out of college. And I think that if we can be able to implement a plan for him, he could potentially be that much more effective as we go further into these games. So we wanted to come in here to break him down to see what he's done the first 6 games of the season. So on this play here, with Mike McCarthy's scheme, he loves to utilize fullbacks, keeping these guys on the move. And usually when you do have a fullback that can be productive, it's only going to bring out a better Dak Prescott. But he's the type of player, if you can be able to scheme him open, he's a hard-nosed type of runner, and he does have the ability to be able to get chunk plays. And he has shown this the first 6 games of the season, and this is what you want when it comes down to this offense. So we'll go ahead and run it. So running this play here, you see that he's on the move. Next thing you know, Dak Prescott fakes the ball. Dak Prescott is at his best when he can be able to run play action, scheming these guys open and getting them the ball. And with Hunter Luepke's size, he's a big player. And if you can be able to get this guy open in space, these defenders, they do not want to tackle him. Not saying that he's the fastest player out there, but he has a knack for being able to get those dirty yards. And usually when you can be able to get those dirty yards, it makes everything better for the entire offense. But running that play action fake, the whole offensive line down blocking to that left side, and having Hunter storm out to the opposite side of the field, that was an awesome play by Mike McCarthy. And you do want to see more of this when it comes down to Hunter. You got to be able to utilize this guy, not just the first quarter, but throughout the whole entire game. And he was one of the backs coming out of North Dakota that caught the ball a lot. So it's great to see them utilize this skill set with Hunter. Here's another play here of Hunter being able to catch the ball, having a good understanding of what the defense is doing, the soft spot in his own coverage, and getting a chunk play. And with the better offensive players, regardless if it's the fullback position, the running back position, or the wide receiver position, they have to be patient and not just take off so quickly. You got to use your eyes, figure out what the defense is trying to do, and put yourself in the right spot. And usually when you have a knack for doing this, you gain trust from Dak Prescott, and there's a possibility that he might target you when games really matter. So this ended up being a big play by Hunter Luepke. So let's run it. So locking on this play here, you see the patience from Hunter. He's shuffling his feet, then he takes off. And it's so good to be able to see the awareness by Hunter, finding that spot in the defense, catching the ball, getting away from that first would-be tackler, and next thing you know, he's turning up. And the thing is with him, he was a guy that was getting a lot of yak yardage. I think that with his hard-nosed style of play, it can potentially make this offense explosive. But everybody's going to have to be on the same page. And there have been questions about the Dallas Cowboys with their whole entire offense, but we got to remember that they have a lot of talent on the field. But it's not just about the players. You got to have that chemistry. If you can be able to gain the trust from Dak Prescott, go out there and make those big time plays, it makes it easier for everybody. And I believe that this was one of those plays that was made towards the end of the game. You got to do this in the beginning and let these defenses know that we have playmakers all over the field. But seeing these plays here is the reason why I say you should use Hunter in these games early and often. So here's a play here that I really like from Hunter Luepke, utilizing him in a screen game as well. And when you're going up against these defensive linemen, they can tend to be aggressive, trying to get after the quarterback, these linebackers bluffing out in coverage. And usually when a defense is overly aggressive, you can use that as your advantage. And that's exactly what Hunter did on this rep. So we're going to split it. So running this play here, you see that they snap the ball. Hunter, he drifts to the left side. Those defensive linemen, they're being overly aggressive. Next thing you know, Dak Prescott passes the ball. And it's good to be able to have a fullback that can be able to catch. TJ Bass, he's out in space, removing his guy out the way, and Hunter cuts up the field. And he's one of the players that he does not shy away from contact. That could have easily been a touchdown on this play. And I think that with a guy like him, the more that you can be able to implement him in a game plan, he has a nose for the end zone. He has shown that all throughout college, but you have to continue to get him the ball. Now, with guys like Rico Dowdle, if they give the ball to Ezekiel Elliott, that is fine. But having a guy like him is kind of sort of like the guy from the 49ers with the ability to be able to block, and you can use him all throughout the backfield, catching the ball as well as utilizing him in the goal line. But this was a really good play right here. The offensive line, they executed it well. Everybody was patient, and he made that big time play. And I know that this offense has the ability to be able to do this. We've been doing this for the past few seasons, but it's not going to just come down to the offensive players. The coaches are going to have to be on top of their game and using these plays at the right moment. But seeing this play here, that was a big moment when we played against the Steelers, and that definitely got me fired up because this shows the offense's potential if they can go out there and lock in. The importance of being a back in the backfield is having that peripheral vision to spot defenders trying to attack Dak. And it was great to see Hunter stepping up, making a block, and buying more time for Dak to make the perfect throw. And every second matters in these situations, Cowboys Nation. So seeing him lock in on the blitzer and keep him away from Dak, that was awesome to see. So we'll go ahead and spin it. So zooming in on Hunter, these guys are taking off, and he locks in on number 29. And with the Baltimore Ravens defense, they love to blitz their corners and safeties. But seeing him going out there and clashing with him and allowing Dak to make the perfect throw to Jalen Tolbert, this is how you can be able to make a difference when it matters. Not only being a guy that can be able to catch the ball, but can you be a player that can be able to protect your quarterback and allow him to be able to get through his progressions? Because he could have easily delayed on that block, and next thing you know, that defender could have got his hands on Dak. So that was a great heads up play by Hunter Luepke. Playing fullback is a bang bang position. And I played fullback and linebacker coming out of high school. So I know firsthand. Some fullbacks tend to try to thump you instead of locking their hands onto the defender and securing their block. And as a former linebacker, I used to love seeing fullbacks attempt this because it allowed me to disengage quickly and get to the ball carrier. And Hunter does have some good blocking reps, but consistently getting his hands on defenders and securing the block is crucial. This could be the difference between a small gain and a chunk play. So we'll go ahead and run it. So zooming on this play here, Deuce Vaughn's getting the ball. He's at that fullback position, and he gives that linebacker just a shoulder. And the thing is, if you're just going to thump a guy, sometimes these linebackers, they'll keep that outside arm free and have a way to be able to get to the running back. That linebacker didn't make the play. Other defenders rallied to the ball, but that was a situation where if Deuce didn't get touched, he could have made a different move and got more yards on this play. So getting down to the technique things is key. Not only being able to run the ball, can you catch the ball? Can you be a stout lead blocker? These are the things that Hunter's going to have to do if he's going to see the field. Now, it won't be perfect with this athlete, but he has shown a lot more good plays than bad plays. But I did want to point that out. Not only do the players need to understand this, but the coaches need to coach this in practice as well. And it's the little things when it comes down to being able to evaluate film. They have to be able to see this and address it to these players. But if they don't, you're going to still see the same results. But watching Hunter's film throughout this year, he has seen the field a lot. But if he can find ways to be able to secure these type of blocks, I'm sure that Mike McCarthy will find ways to get him on the field more as we go along in the season. So on this final play here, it's good to see the coaches trust him in running the ball on 3rd and 1 or even 4th and 1. He runs to the left, manages to keep his balance after contact with the defender, and keeps the chains moving. Whether if it's him or Zeke, bringing in a hard-nosed runner that can be able to run in between the tackles and keeping this offense flowing is extremely important. And this is what we want to get out of said player. So we're going to run it. So running this play, Dak Prescott, he gives him the ball to the left. Thibodeau, he's going up against Guyton. He disengages from Guyton. Next thing you know, he lays a body on Hunter, but Hunter was able to get his hand to the ground, keep his balance, and get about 6 more yards. And with that running back position, you have to have that grit. You got to have that will out there because these plays right here can be able to get everybody fired up on an offense. Can you be a player that can be relied on when it's really needed? And evaluating this film, they're not doing this every game with this player. He didn't really have that much of an impact against Detroit, but with these coaches, they got to pay attention to the film. If you see a player that can be able to run in between the tackles, if you can block, you can get important first downs, then obviously you should use this guy more often in every game coming up going forward. But seeing him bring that toughness and ability to get the first down when needed is why I think he's had a great start so far. He needs to be used more going forward for sure if they want to take that next step as an offense. And it's only going to make this offense that much better. So with this running back position with Zeke, Hunter, Rico, just utilize all of these guys. At the end of the day, there are no excuses for this Dallas Cowboys team. And I know that we have all been stressed out about this organization. And it's hard for me to even make film because I love the Cowboys so much, but I don't want to hear any more excuses about this team. If they're about that action, step up when it matters most. The offense, the defense, the special teams, the time is now. It won't be perfect in the beginning of the season. Usually teams, they start blossoming around the 9th or 10th game of the season. So they got to figure out what they can be able to do best to be able to take that next step going forward. But with guys like Hunter, I think that with his skill set, being able to block, running between the tackles, He can catch the ball. You can play him at that wing position, keeping him on the move and utilizing him the right way. He has the skill set to be able to make a difference. But it's up to Mike McCarthy to be able to figure that out and get players like him going. So comment below and let me know what you guys think about Hunter so far this season. And do y'all want to see more of him on the field as we go along in this season? So make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe and hit that notification bell because the way the YouTube algorithm works, if you don't hit it, you'll miss on fire live streams and the best Cowboys film sessions on YouTube. All right, Cowboys Nation. Talk to y'all soon. Gone.